Our humanities department is 6th through 12th grade teachers, and we got together to think about what we might want to apply for a grant for professional learning that was teacher focused. We also identified a need, which was that we have a large population of English language learners at our site, or emergent bilinguals. Specifically, we have long-term English language learners, students who've been in the country, been in English classes for many years, but aren't progressing. So that made up a large part of our student body, and no one felt that they were an expert in serving those students.
For the evidence, you had really good evidence, but just try to make the lead-ins more visible and understanding.
Because of that, we wanted to build that common understanding, and we realized pretty quickly that inquiry would be a good fit because there isn't really a common understanding in the teaching field about how best to serve English language learners. It was an area where we knew we could do our own research. We could also have a lot of input, but we could also do our own research and support each other in trying to figure out this massive puzzle.
What Mills Teacher Scholars does is create collaborative spaces that are really learning spaces, where teachers can find out what their students know, how their students are thinking, where they can really surface questions about the learning goals that they have for their students.
Mills Teacher Scholars create structures, ways to think alone, ways to think together, so that people can push each other's thinking and really come to new understandings that they wouldn't have arrived at if they were just thinking about it alone in their classrooms. We also provide data collection support, so if there's a conversation or something that's really hard to capture on paper and they want support getting that, we go in and videotape, audio record, so they can look at that. So we also provide teachers with one-on-one coaching conversations where we could do a deep dive together and really look at one student in a way that teachers really don't have time to do.
Our whole department is focusing on inquiry work that relates to supporting English language development and long-term English language learners.
We've done this process of vocab twice before, but just to make sure that we all start off on the same page. Circle your level of understanding. If you've never seen these words before, you're circling a 1. 2, if you've seen it before but you're not really sure what it means, a 2. 3, you kind of know what it means, and 4, I definitely know it. I could use it in my reading, my writing, or my speaking.
My colleague and co-teaching partner for 8th grade has been my inquiry partner. At the beginning of the year, my colleague and I, Eva Oliver, had been giving kids sort of a legend with annotation symbols that they could use as they were annotating a text. And we noticed that kids could annotate a text without really showing that they had comprehended it.
The first half of the article we annotated in class, and so it was like, yellow and then a smiley face, yellow, OMG, not the best annotations, not the most relevant or thoughtful annotations, but she was selectively highlighting, or at least selectively highlighted what was on the board and what she did with her partner. Then I flip over to the back, and the entire back is yellow.
So we started to think about ways to push kids to show their thinking while they were reading, and I've sort of been looking at 2 different ways to do that through my inquiry work. One has been with primary source documents, and then the other way that we've been pushing kids toward selective highlighting and annotating for comprehension and for an academic purpose is by chunking text.
One way that this has improved collaboration and collegiality among us is really just the time to talk about what is actually happening in our classrooms. Rather than looking at district initiatives or even just data by itself, we're looking at things that are happening now in our classrooms.
I wonder if in some ways it's like a higher order thinking skill to take that and go a step further by highlighting this too.
But it would be more interesting to me if kids I would be more convinced by that if kids had highlighted this and this.
Right.
And none of them did.
They all missed that one.
Right, and throughout my class, this was the most missed question on this homework.
We find that there are actually quite a few opportunities for teachers to collaborate. But what collaboration means is often limited to sharing practices, swapping curricular materials. What Mills Teacher Scholars does is partner with schools and districts to support them to create really effective teacher learning communities that is using collaborative inquiry as a method to improve practice. These issues that the teachers are holding are really complex, and it's really important in our effort to really raise the professionalism of teachers, to give them time to think together, to name what they know, to name what they don't know, and to go public with both what they know and with their questions. That's a really important aspect of building professional identity.
I think the biggest thing that I'm going to carry with me into my practice for next year, though, is that students felt really anxious about what do I write to the text if I'm talking to the text. And literally when I asked, like, why did you underline that? Why did you highlight it? And they would tell me, I'd say, that's your talk to the text.
I believe that this work is really professionalizing. I think I'm addicted to it because it's one of the things that's kept me in the classroom. The ability to see a problem in my classroom as an opportunity for research and not just another problem to add to the long list of problems with public education has been really empowering and helped reshape what I think a teacher's job is. And it's a job that I want to keep doing.